Hollywood is a dream. Hollywood is a mystery. Hollywood is a fantasy land. Everybody comes here from all over the world, and they will always come here.
This, of course, is the famous Hollywood sign. It's about the most famous symbol of Hollywood. It's known around the world. It was built in the 1920s. The housing development below it was called Hollywoodland, and they put the sign up as a real estate gimmick to attract buyers. Originally, the sign had 4 more letters. It said Hollywoodland, but the last 4 letters were removed in about the 1940s. There's no way to get right up to the sign without permission. It's all blocked off. People over the years have tried to put things on the sign for advertising, and so they restrict access. Also, in the 1930s, there was a young actress named Peg Entwistle who came to Hollywood to find work, but she was unsuccessful, and in despair, she climbed to the top of the H and jumped to her death. So that, combined with people trying to deface the sign, have caused them to block it off. But it is, of course, the most famous symbol.
Hollywood, famous as the movie capital of the world, began modestly over 100 years ago as the private ranch of Horace and Diana Wilcox. Mrs. Wilcox named her home Hollywood simply because she liked the sound of the name, and when the land was later sold, the name remained. Hollywood got its start in the movie business in 1913 when director Cecil B. DeMille shot his film The Squaw Man here. Other film companies soon followed, drawn by the great climate and the freedom to grow their industry as they saw fit. Today, Hollywood is a part of the city of Los Angeles and is one of the largest tourist attractions in Southern California. There are countless movie theaters and souvenir shops that cater to visitors from around the world. Tourists come hoping to catch a glimpse of their favorite movie star, see one of the legendary film studios, and perhaps try to capture some of the mystique that the Hollywood name still evokes. Aspiring actors and actresses still come from all over, drawn by the chance at stardom. The harsh reality they face once they arrive is that the odds are extremely low that they will ever see their dreams fulfilled. But for the lucky few who do make it, the rewards can be enormous. The Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard is the most famous of the theaters from Hollywood's golden age. It was built in 1927 by promoter Sid Grauman and was immediately a hit with the movie crowd and the public. More movie premieres have been held here than at any other theater in Hollywood. The thing most people come to see are the hand and footprints of stars which are permanently set in the cement forecourt of the theater. It is said that Sid Grauman started this tradition after accidentally stepping in wet cement. He thought it would be a great idea for the stars of movies that premiered at the Chinese Theater to do the same. Although Sid Grauman is long gone, the tradition he started continues today, and tourists delight in comparing their hands and feet with those of the stars. Because space for new prints is limited, older ones are removed from time to time and put into storage so that new cement can be poured and new stars can add their prints to the collection.
my thing about Hollywood is a lot of people come here to try and make it, and they have a high expectations of what they want. I think that it's all in that person. If you're aggressive and you get what you want, you will get what you want. But you need to have that aggressiveness, otherwise it won't happen for you. Got to be strong.
Welcome to Hollywood. My name is Dennis Woodruff, and this is my dog, Tuffy, the Wonder Dog. Hi, Tuffy. How are you today? We're here in Hollywood, and a lot of people around the world want to know what it's like to be an actor in Hollywood and pursue your dream. I decided to build my car because I wanted to have a billboard to drive around with. I wanted to have something that I could stand out from the crowd and be noticed. And I thought it would be very interesting to have something that was colorful and very artistic. So I created this car. As this is my 10th car, I have 3 now, to drive around and to become a part of the Hollywood history, to entertain people and get my big break in Hollywood at the same time.
I came out to Hollywood a long time ago, about 20 years ago, after I got out of service, and I was roaming around during the hippie days, and I started studying acting, and I was in acting school for about 7, 8, 10 years in acting school, and it was hard to get in. It was hard to become an actor. They wouldn't like hire me for some reason or other. So I didn't. Everybody used to come and tell me I looked like Columbo. And when I was up on stage, they'd run up and say, "Hey, you look like Columbo." I said, "Columbo, huh?" So because of them telling me I kept looking like Columbo, well, I started putting the gig together as Columbo. You see, and this is what I got. You see, at least I'm acting, and I could do it on my own. See, I'm waiting for somebody to give me the part, and they don't give me a part. I don't understand why, because I'm a hell of an actor. I could be dramatic, I could be comedic, you know, but I haven't received the opportunity, and I've been in this town for like 20 years. You know, my pictures, they go into the studios, there's a line of pictures this high. There's about 100,000 people out of work, and 10% of those people work. So I figured I'd take it out on the road my own self. And now I'm doing this, and I'm happy. I make people smile, and I'm happy. And maybe one day I'll get my break for the big TV or the movies. Otherwise, I'll solve some more cases.
I am a pantomime artist, a student of Marcel Marceau. star? Well, that's extremely difficult. About 1 in 25 million become stars. To be an actor, all you have to do is have the nerve and remember your lines and don't bump into the furniture when you're on stage.
Hi, I'm Jeff Newman, and I exec produced Under Siege 2, which hopefully you've seen and liked, and that means a lot to me because telling stories is why I'm in this business. And I thought I'd tell you a little bit about what it's like to be a producer in Hollywood and how I got here. I started off with a drive, desire, whatever, to tell stories as a child, and many would argue I've never grown up. Fortunately, I'm now getting paid to tell stories, and with any luck, you're enjoying them. I wanted you to know that the most important thing in Hollywood is the story. It isn't the stars, although I'm not going to argue with Stephen, or Rebecca, or Antonio Banderas. They help get a picture made. But what brings everyone together is a good story. And what brings you to the theater is a good story as well. A good story captures the imagination. It sweeps you along, it provides you with escapism, and it is a way for us all to communicate. It can be done through all types of different mediums. All sorts of different stories tell different morals. The moral I have to tell you about Hollywood is that while it is difficult to make it, it can be worth it. Not everyone with talent does make it.
I think it really has a lot to do with luck, and it has a lot to do with how one establishes themselves when they first arrive in Hollywood. I've met a lot of people who've had success based on chance meetings, having met the right person at the right time. I think that if you can't run into Arnold Schwarzenegger and become his friend by coincidence, then probably the way into the Hollywood system as a producer through the front door is by developing material. And when I first came here, someone told me that if I wanted to be a producer, I should cultivate relationships with writers, and I should develop material with writers. I should engender projects, screenplays with writers. And I think I didn't follow up on that advice immediately, but it was good advice, and I would give that same advice to anyone who wants to come to Los Angeles and be a film producer. A lot of new material, a lot of material by first-time writers, sells for big money. Under Siege 2 was written by first-time writers, and it sold for a producer screenplay package worth about $1 million. And those writers have gone on to certainly riches and fame and success.
come to Hollywood for a lot of different reasons, but not all of them are the right reasons. The reason you should come to Hollywood, if you want to, is because you need to, not to be famous. You have a need to tell a story, to communicate with the world. You need to have a larger format in which to tell your stories. That's what Hollywood provides you. It provides you a worldwide audience. And with any luck, you can make it. But the important thing to remember is you're here to create, God willing, art and good stories and entertainment. And if you have that need, if you have that desire, then Hollywood needs more like you. Also helps if you're a little bit lucky.
There's no secret. A lot of, in order to be successful, you need a lot of luck, but you need to be prepared. You need to have your classes intact. You need to keep yourself physically and mentally alert. And you need to find people such as myself, managers, agents, who can help you get the opportunities. But it is a lot of luck. But of course, you know, you must be prepared for luck. And I think there's no special way. You just have to really accept the fact that it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to hear lots and lots of no's, more negatives than positive, and you have to keep your energy inside positive so that you can have yourself prepared for all the negativity that comes your way. Well, I mean, I don't know what word makes it mean. The idea is only you know when it's time to give up. So you really never fail. You can try something that doesn't work out, but only you know when it's time to quit. I don't think it's Hollywood's fault. We control our destiny. You know, Hollywood's just a place, no different than any place else. There are a lot of people you have to watch out for, because in the business, there are a lot of people who really can't help you, pretend to help you, and to try to just take money from you, waste your time, or other things. I think it's really a matter of you just realizing it's a tough business and it's a tough town, but it's fun. And if you meet the right people, you can get very lucky and you know, go for the dream. But I don't think you really fail until you decide you want to quit.
What they say, quitters never win. So I'm out here for the long haul, either as Columbo or as some other character.
We're here at Hollywood Memorial Park Cemetery, right in the heart of Hollywood. This is one cemetery that's more European in look, a lot of mausoleums and above-ground monuments. This is the last final resting place of many famous stars. Rudolph Valentino, Douglas Fairbanks Jr. is here, Tyrone Power, Cecil B. DeMille, an early director. Also, many Los Angeles luminaries are here as well, people who built the city of Los Angeles. It's very beautiful and park-like. Although it's not the largest, it's definitely the most historic. This part of Hollywood Cemetery is close to the Cathedral Mausoleum, which is the final resting place of, most notably, Rudolph Valentino. He was placed in a borrowed crypt in this building when he died in 1926. Originally, they were planning to build a large memorial for him, but the plans never materialized, and so he ended up being here permanently. This is one of the sanctuaries in the Abbey of the Psalms Mausoleum at Hollywood Memorial Park. This is typical of the multi-level mausoleums in Southern California, and this one is particularly beautiful with the pink stone faces. Abbey of the Psalms has many notables as well. The Talmadge sisters, who were famous in the silent era. Jesse Lasky, an early director here in Hollywood. And Charles Chaplin Jr., the son of the famous comedian, is also interred here, as well as Edward G. Robinson Jr. Charlie Chaplin Jr. tried but failed to live up to his father's fame and fortune. and he died young in his 40s, broken man. This is the Douglas Fairbanks Memorial, very impressive memorial. It's got a big reflecting pool in the front. Hollywood Cemetery is about 40 acres. It used to be twice as big, but behind the fence there is Paramount Studios, and they bought half the land and built their studio there. So it's kind of interesting that many stars who worked at Paramount came right next door for their final resting. Marilyn Monroe was buried here at Westwood Memorial Park in the city of Westwood, California, right in the heart of the city. It's a very, very small postage stamp sized cemetery. Really acts more like a park for those that work in the buildings surrounding it. It's a very old cemetery, and even though it's very small, there are many well-known personalities buried here. Because it's so small, there isn't very much space left. As a matter of fact, today, if you wanted to buy one of the very few plots that remain, it would cost about $15,000 for the space. This is the final resting place of Marilyn Monroe, one of the most famous actresses of the 50s. She's in this small crypt here. There are always flowers here. And you notice the stone is dark because people come from all over to touch the stones. Her ex-husband, Joe DiMaggio, put fresh roses on her grave every week for 20 years, from 1962 to 1982. And when he stopped, others took up the cause, so there are always flowers here. This is the grave of Burt Lancaster, who died in 1994. His ashes were buried here. Very small marker, but many people visit and leave plants in remembrance. Heather O'Rourke was the young actress who starred in the Poltergeist movies. She was the little blonde girl who sat in front of the TV and said, "They're here." Poor Heather was only 12 years old when she died. They found an obstruction in her intestine, which they couldn't catch, and she died on the operating table. Some people said that her death was associated with the supernatural character of her movies, but actually it was something quite normal that couldn't be helped. We're here at Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City. There are many personalities laid to rest here as well. In this one area, we have everyone from Sharon Tate to Bela Lugosi, the first movie Dracula, to Rita Hayworth, who was famous in the 40s as a very beautiful actress. This is the grave of Sharon Tate Polanski, the wife of filmmaker Roman Polanski. Sharon was murdered along with 5 of her friends in 1969. She was 8 months pregnant, and their baby, Paul Richard Polanski, is here as well. This is at the Catholic Holy Cross Cemetery in Culver City, California.
But we can't leave Hollywood without stopping first in Beverly Hills. The city of Beverly Hills, lying to the west of Hollywood, is as well known for its huge mansions, luxurious hotels, and exquisite shopping as Hollywood is known for its movie industry. Founded in 1911, the town was planned from the beginning to attract those who worked in the movies, and it remains the domain of the rich and famous. All of the world's most prestigious stores have opened branches in Beverly Hills, and the crown jewel of the shopping district is Rodeo Drive. This single strip of real estate has probably the most expensive collection of merchandise in the world. Even royalty comes to shop on Rodeo Drive and elsewhere in Beverly Hills, and while they're here, they stay in nearby hotels, where the largest suites rent for over $1,000 per night. The shopping district is a great place to be seen and to watch people go by. And the restaurants in the area are favored by Hollywood executives who can often be spotted at a secluded table making the latest movie deal. On the streets, every type of luxury car is on display, and society's upper elite rubs elbows on the sidewalks with camera-toting tourists who usually spend more than they can afford just so they can say they've shopped in Beverly Hills. Continuing west, leaving behind the luxury and grandeur of Beverly Hills, the road leads to the Pacific Ocean and the unique seaside town of Venice. Venice, California was the creation of a man named Abbot Kinney, who dreamed of turning 160 acres of marshy land, which reminded him of Venice, Italy, into the Venice of America. Beginning in 1904, he built 16 miles of canals and Italianate architecture and imported gondolas and singing gondoliers. But unlike Italy's Venice, Kinney created the world's largest amusement park along the beach, and the crowds came in record numbers. There was a large artistic community living here, which had its beginnings in the 50s and 60s. Among the many well-known artists who made Venice their home were the musical group The Doors, who lived here at the beginning of their career. The tone is distinctly bohemian, and it is easy to feel as if time stopped here in the 1960s. And that free-spirited feeling is evident when you watch the performers do their thing without caring what others may think. Today, most of the canals have been filled in, and the gondolas are gone. But the waterfront still plays host to a carnival atmosphere where people of every description come to play.
Music, movies, whatever. I'll do anything. I do whatever. People come and ask me to do many things. And entertainment.
I'm making one nickel at a time, and it'll only cost you $2. I could write a song made just for you. I make one song at a time, and it'll only cost you $2. I could write a song made just for you. Well, telephone. I've got my guitar standing by my side. As soon as that phone it starts to ring, oh well, that's when I start to sing. I don't write songs with you there as my guide. I make it one nickel at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. And I could write a song made just for you. I make a one song at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. I could write a song made just for you. Come on, fiddler. Come on, y'all. I make it one nickel at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. And I could write a song made just for you. I make the one song at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. And I could write a song made just for you. Well, when I'm down and I'm feeling poor, I sing about that Vietnam War and how I came back to home alone and proud. Well, now I don't get out too much, and it's a bonus how I keep in touch. Writing songs is what I like to do. Don't laugh, I'll make it one nickel at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. I could write a song just for you. I'll make it one song at a time, and it'll only cost you 2 dimes. I could write a song just for you. Well, I could write a song just for you.
I'm Marcy Morgan. I came out here to Venice. I came out here to California from Texas about 7 years ago. And I'm a free spirit. I came here like a lot of other people came here to create, to dance, to act, to follow a dream, follow a vision. And there's a lot of other people here who just want to live in peace and live near the sea and be able to express freely how they feel.
One of the instruments that I invented is similar to a cuico, which is a stick drum. And all it is a threaded rod bought at the hardware store and a tin can with a hole poked in the middle of it. And the rod, when the rod's pulled through it, it makes a squeaking sound. If it's pushed too slower, it makes a different sound.